Is Oulton a walk in the park? To continue on that, no, I don't think it is. I think that there are a couple, especially this Foster's layout in this car, a couple sections, the first little downhill section, especially, turns 3 and 4, I believe, are really tough. Having to keep a little bit of throttle in and to keep the car from just kind of doing nasty stuff to you. It's gonna take me a bit more practice to make sure I'm consistent in my ability to get through that section. The rest of it isn't so bad as keeping the speed going, but yeah, that is gonna be the part I think catches people up. I was able to get a 102 149 here, which I think is pretty good for me. Fast guys are probably gonna be doing 1 minute and like hundredths of seconds, sub 101s basically, but I think I'll do all right. I think I'll do okay. So without further ado, we'll show you our best lap we were able to get here in practice at 102 149, and then we'll talk about how we did it and kind of how we navigate that downhill section that I am worried about. Anyway, here we go.
That last lap was at 102.2. You're less than a tenth off your best. Your sector 2 time is quick. That lap was a 102.2. Sector 3 time's okay.
All right, Oulton Park Fosters. We got ourselves a 102 149 here in our Formula Ford. So let's go through how we did it. This is a bit of a tricky track. And it took me quite a bit to get some clean laps going here, but we got a decent exit out of our last corner here on this one. And it's just full out for this little section here. There's going to be a couple sections to watch out for that have really tripped me up. We'll go through those when we get there. Our first braking point, there's a little notch that comes out here. See how it kind of goes, this little section on the left hand side of the white line gets bigger and then comes back in. That's kind of where I'm my braking point is in my head. I'd probably start hitting the brakes a little bit before there. So yeah, we hit the brakes, but we're gonna peak right here. Then we're gonna start coming out of the brakes a bit, and we're gonna put a little bit of gas in as we start to approach the apex here, right here, and then we're gonna floor it when we hit that little section there. So yeah, so now we got full throttle going. And we're going to come out over here, and we're going to come a little bit onto this AstroTurf here. To me, it feels like we used to be able to use a bit more of this, but you can go all the way up to where your right hand tires are going to be over here. I have not gotten my line down to where I can do that consistently, so I am being a little bit more conservative with how much of the curb and AstroTurf I use. But yeah, you can get your right tires like all the way up over here. All right, so now the next part is the the hard part, this next corner here. We're going full out for this section. Then we're going to kind of, as we come down, we're going to lift a bit as we kind of, this whole little section here is pretty treacherous. We've got to have some throttle in it, or take it like way slower. Those are kind of the two options. But kind of when I hit this dip here, I kind of lift a bit, and we're gonna start turning the car in. The back end is gonna start to come around, but we're leaving a little bit of throttle going to try and keep some of that weight on the back end to keep it from like totally coming around on us. So we're gonna keep that little bit of throttle in there as we come through here, and then we are gonna go and give it a little bit more beans to kind of get more of that weight pushed back, so we can kind of hook it back up. And then we've got to start slowing down for this here corner. So we're just on the brakes now, trying to get slowed down, downshifting while we do it. And then we're going to come out, and we're going to start putting some throttle down here. I caught that curb on the right hand side. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't really have a preference on that. I have had it here. I don't remember which laps I did it on. Where my rear tire on the exit of this catches this curb, and then it's just done for. We end up spinning out. There's a couple other corners like that I'll mention as we go through. But yeah, if we go a little wide there and the back tire comes over here, we just end up spinning out into that wall. Not necessarily always the wall, but usually it's a bit rough. But yeah, now we're full throttle. We don't need to worry about hitting the apex over here. We're carrying enough speed. We're just gonna go, and we're just gonna go full throttle through here, and we've got enough grip that we can go full throttle through that corner, and then it's just flat out through here. And then coming up here, we're just gonna kind of keep on the left hand side here to open up this corner. And we're gonna start braking as we come through here. This is another one of those sections where I've gotten my left tires dip just the slightest bit into this grass here, and then we just spin out into the wall. So we did want to be careful, and ideally we're going to use as much of the road as possible, but I kind of do things a little bit more conservatively and give myself a bit more space. But yeah, we're just gonna start braking kind of just as we're headed down this way. So kind of like right about here is where we're gonna start doing our braking. And we're just gonna trail brake slowly, letting it out, and we're gonna give it a little bit of gas coming back through this double right-hander here, and just kind of, we're gonna have to modulate the throttle a little bit. Sometimes it kind of depends on how good of an exit I get there. This time we were able to keep it just pinned. Here, our next braking point is going to be after the sign here. There's a little bit again where the line kind of curves in. That's kind of where I am aiming my braking point to be. It's going to be a little bit before there, so kind of halfway. That's where I'm thinking, and when I do these things, I'm always thinking I hit the brakes a little bit before then, but that's where the peak is. But anyway, we're gonna start letting go here of the brakes, and just kind of again keep the pressure lower to keep a little bit of grip on the front wheels, and then let go and start as we hit the apex there. Start putting some gas in it. And then as we unwind the wheel, well, before we unwind the wheel, kind of as we hit the top of the hill here, we're gonna give it the rest of the beans, and then it's pretty much gonna be flat out for this rest of it. Once you've gone through that section, there's the rest of the corner is easy. All right, and there we have it, a 102 149. So yeah, it's gonna take a bit more practice for me to get the consistency down. That is the main worry I have going through this. I think there are gonna be people losing on those corners that I mentioned in the talk that I did, the guided lap section of the video. But anyway, if you're interested in watching along live when we do some races, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman. Leave a follow there. Thumbs up if you liked this video, thumbs down if you didn't, and hit the subscribe button if you want to watch more of these, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.